This country is hard on men and machines. It's the outback at its most forbidding. Camel pads through sand dunes, dry riverbeds, rocky outcrops, stretches where you can reach 200 kilometres an hour. Tight corners full of loose sand, dust, dust and more dust. That's the 220 kilometre track from Alice Springs to the Finke River. To do it in less than 2 hours and back the next day over the same course, that's the challenge of the Wynn's Desert Race, the fastest off-road event in Australia. Many of Australia's top guns in motocross chicken out. They don't dare take on two Alice Springs riders who have this tree, this track, this event in their blood. Mark Winter took the crown last year. After nearly 4 hours of racing, Alan Rowe was just 32 seconds behind him. In the cars, included in the event 3 years ago, the contest is also between two Central Australians, despite a big field from interstate. John Fiddler, the only man to have competed in every race 12 times on a motorcycle, twice in a buggy. He's pitted against last year's winner, Gary Nicole. The prize for being the fastest in the desert is $10,000. Alice Springs becomes the nation's capital of off-road racing on the Queen's birthday weekend. Despite the dominance of the race by locals, some nationals face the challenge. Interstate entrants get travel assistance from ANZET and the Territory Tourist Commission. Phil Lovett is back from New South Wales.
That must be a good omen, eh?
He's won the event outright 3 times. Western Australian Rob Tywald, winner of the 1990 Lake Lefroy Desert Race, is on his second attempt.
Much difference between this event and the Lake Lefroy that you've recently won?
It is. The speeds are a lot higher here. I don't think it's quite as physically demanding as Lake Lefroy.
Bruce Garland, driving a Rally Art Australia Pajero Turbo, is a dark horse in the car section. His gearbox alone is rumoured to be worth $12,000. But the Wynn's Desert Race is not just for big shots. It's part of this region's folklore. Halfway down to Finke on Deepwell Station, Billy Hayes, descendant of a pioneer pastoral family, spends a lot of time on a bike. He used to watch the race as a kid, and now he's in it. Solicitor Graham Buckley's quest for victory is usually confined to a courtroom. He reckons that racing to Finke and back is something you just have to do, at least once in your life. Graham will be there for his second ride. Dr. Kay Kilgariff normally beats disease, not race opponents. Although she knows more about the inner ear than carburettors, Kay will be one of the 2 female entrants on motorcycles.
You can play with that if you like.
Even the TAFE College adds racing car construction to its curriculum. Unluckily, this car will have to withdraw a day before the race with a snapped oil pump drive. The first act of the Wynn's Desert Race drama unfolds on Thursday night. The vital starting positions for each class are drawn.
267.
In 1976, there were 62 riders. This year, 110 riders and 42 drivers are entered, the largest field ever. Ex-president of the Outback Desert Racing Club and first-time competitor Damien Ryan will be first away in the 4-wheel drive class. He challenges another ex-president, Gary King, who will drive a buggy in his first race. A little later, a tense moment for Mark Winter. Will he draw a spot in the first wave of 4 riders with the promise of a dust-free ride? There are 8 nominations in the pro class. Mark has an even chance.
Position 5. Mark Winter on second.
Winter's main opponent, Alan Rowe, draws pole position. He will start not only in the first wave, but also on its left-hand side. The best spot for the first corner, a sharp left-hander. Lovett will be in the second wave of pro riders alongside Winter. The prospect of a tussle with the champion doesn't faze him.
Mark Winter beside me, sort of shouldn't be a problem there. Be able to bash him into the fence or something silly like that, but we shouldn't be any dirty work. But he's on the inside, which is not real good. But we'll see. He might overshoot the first turn, and after that, he's going to have a lot of drama.
Lovett won the race in 81, 82 and 85. Until now, he is the only back-to-back winner. Friday morning, Lovett returns from a ride on the last practice day. Suddenly, Revhead's chances for this year are looking very sick.
Oh, you've cut a deep hole in
Yeah,
there.
There's a deep hole there. Deep hole, big crevice.
Cut the lip too, have you?
Now I've been sliding along on my face. That's all.
Yeah, good helmet.
Yeah, peak fell off though. But no, I'll go and get stitched up if I can ride, I will.
All right.
Because I kept riding, doesn't worry me, but I don't like to open it up at present.
You'll get some muck in it.
Yeah.
Saturday morning, vehicles and equipment are checked and competitors make last-minute preparations.
What do you want to know? See ya.
Chief scrutineer Pete Healy, a past competitor, picked the spot for the finish line at Finke 15 years ago. Fate played a part, as it often does in the outback.
I went down with Alice Tice to set up camp down there and the other end for the kitchen and everything. And I was towing a trailer in the F100 two-wheel drive and I got bogged in the creek. And that's where we stopped. And we just waited there and Curtis come racing through and we tried to stop him and he just kept going until he ran into the rubbish dump. And consequently, that's where the camp's been ever since.
Near freezing pre-dawn of competition day one. Nerves are starting to show.
Pretty nervous, got butterflies. Didn't sleep much last night. Spent about 3 hours in bed and 3 hours watching TV.
How do you think the car will perform?
I think it'll be all right. I built it strong, I built it for this race, and I think it'll hang together pretty well.
John Fiddler's words will come back to haunt him.
We'll just do the best, you know what I mean? Not break the car, try to keep everything together.
They're mechanical things, they can break on you, that's the trouble.
Well, I hope we go down there and back. That's mainly it.
Are you nervous?
Not really, not yet. I suppose we will once they all start the line up, so go from there.
How do you think you're going to go today?
Fairly good actually, hopefully, but we won't find out until the flag drops and we're off.
With a moment of truth so close, Gary King and Damien Ryan agree that this is a bad time for having enemies.
I'm just holding back one more toilet visit, I think. Yeah, thank you very much, Damien. See you down there. Still love you. Thank you.
Niggling doubt even amongst the big guns from down south.
Morning, how do you think you're going to go today?
Don't know really. Have to play it by ear, but I'm pretty confident.
No such agonising for Damien Ryan.
I've been waiting 15 years to do this and I wouldn't swap my position with anybody right now this morning.
Quite cautiously. The whole race cautiously.
Poole doesn't make the first checkpoint.
Everything into it, I can. Are you nervous at all?
I'm very nervous, yes. Very nervous. Yes. But I'm hoping I'll get there and I'll get back.
Good luck.
The only all-women crew blows up the gearbox on the first leg.
Just got to keep my senses together and just go as fast as I can without breaking anything.
Something does break and Cartwright, too, drops out just a few kilometres down the track.
Pre-race tension for the organiser, eh?
Yeah, you'll be right, mate.
Once you all get down to Muddy Road Dinger, I'm all right.
You'll be right.
I relax a bit then.
Yeah.
Once we get started and get you all away, I'm all right.
Yeah, no, you'll be right.
I just worry about every one of you.
You're all right.
It's the worst part. You have a good race
Yeah,
anyway, eh?
good, Jim.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
And we'll see you back here in the helicopter for the bikes.
Yep.
Okay,
we'll be
have
back.
fun. Take
all right,
it easy.
G. Talk to the others too, don't forget.
7 a.m. The race starts. Chris McCormick and co-pilot Michael Ranger are first away. Minutes later, racing in clean air at 140 kilometres an hour, they miss a turn, hit a log and end over end the car several times and write it off. Amazingly, neither man is injured. Alan Hoare and Warren Evans, second away, set a blistering pace in their Mitsubishi Starion. It's go, go, go for Dennis Pate and Tony White in their Datsun. Last year's winner, Gary Nicole, in the same buggy. Damien Wright and his brother Adam throw their Mitsubishi into the first turn. John Fiddler's buggy, looking like an earthbound UFO, eats up the track. Pilot Robert Honza, a past competitor, knows the highs and lows of this race. Finke finished for day one. Nicole, who started 12th, blasts across the line with a lead of 3 minutes and 12 seconds. He's won the Peter Kittle Toyota $1,000 dash for cash for being the fastest car into Finke. Alan Hoare comes in second, in 5th place on corrected time. Nearly up his bumper is Dennis Pate, earning himself 3rd place on the start line tomorrow. Adrian Scabossa and Michelle Ball come second on corrected time. Garland's Pajero is 4th. Gary King and Kurt Johansson come 8th, only 12 seconds behind Ryan, whose mudguards chomped into his front tyres and are modified at Finke. Nicole had a trouble-free run, but Fiddler has a different story.
Well, we could write this book on what happened if you like. Yeah.
They lost their tools and spares, had a steering idler arm torn off, got one from a spectator, fitted it, had a flat tyre, changed it, ran out of fuel, got some, then their throttle jammed wide open, and Fiddler regulated the speed by turning the ignition switch off and on. John has since sold the buggy to his navigator, Peter Lewis. But Fiddler is in good company when it comes to having trouble. The Land Rover from Puckapunyal is piloted by regular Army officer Martin Schmidt.
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't know which part's the worst part. At times I had that thing in mid-air, I didn't know what I was doing. No, a few of the trees got a bit close at one stage.
All part of the game, as are the 1,000 bumps on the track that have even earned a nickname.
What you do is there's definitely excitement in these type of cars, that's for sure. There's no two ways.
Spend a bit of time in the air.
As the drivers are winding down in Finke, the riders are getting into race mode in Alice Springs.
It is a dangerous race, it's a natural terrain race.
No prizes for guessing what's on Mark Winter's mind.
There's always Alan Rowe, he's the arch rival.
Billy Hayes.
That's right.
Yeah, just have the fingers be good when the fingers leave from the knuckles.
Gonna win?
Hope so. Yeah, I hope to win. The bike's fast enough to win, just I hope I can hang on to it for the full distance.
How do you think you're going
Kay Kilgariff is going to take it easy.
Very slowly, I'd say. No, I'm just going down for a fun ride.
Well, hopefully I'll do
Stephen
well.
Greenfield will take it as it comes.
See how we go, I suppose. Follow the front runners. That's about it. Just ride me hardest. Oh, yeah,
Alan Summers is having an attack of the nerves.
How do you think you're going to go, Alan?
Oh, I'm not quite sure. I don't know. I should go right, I think.
Okay,
Quiet confidence will make the day for Danny Sabadin.
I've won it the last 2 years in a row, so I hope to do all right again. I'd like to get it 3.
He'll do it. Danny will take out the 250 4-stroke class. Rob Tyrwold has a theory.
Sometimes I think it might be a little bit better not to know the course as well, because Alan might be a bit dubious of some tricky sections, whereas I can go in a bit quicker and maybe get away with it.
He is under immense pressure to win again. He's had a bad draw, but there's not a hint of nerves in Mr. Cool, Mark Winter.
Well, I'm feeling pretty confident. Been practicing now for over 3 months. The bike's been going superb. The bike we're racing today has only done 10 minutes riding work. The practice bike that we use is a bit of a wreck at the moment. Destroyed it a bit. I think today with a bit of wind blowing, blow the dust away, should be able to keep up with Alan.
What about his arch rival?
How do you think you're going to go this year?
I think I've got a fairly good chance of winning it between Mark Winter and myself. I think it's still down to Mark and I, now with Phil having a bit of an injury.
That bit of an injury would put an ordinary mortal to bed, not Mr. 110%. 15 stitches and a heavy dose of local painkiller later, Lovett is ready to race. But does he have a chance of victory?
If the others don't have any problems, no. So you have problems? Yes.
1 minute to 1, and the huge crowd watches the first wave of 4 riders line up. The 1990 Wynn's Desert Race for motorcycles is underway.